Let me tell you something about the 99%. They start strong, they scream loud, they post flashy photos, they talk big about hustle and grind, but the moment real pain shows up, the moment it gets dark, lonely, and heavy, they fold like a cheap chair. They quit not because they're weak, but because they never trained themselves to be strong. They weren't built for the storm, but you're different. You're not interested in putting on a show. You're building something brutal, unshakable, permanent. You're the 1%, the one who doesn't just survive the storm, but becomes it. The world, it's drowning in quitters, people who light a spark and call it a fire. But when the grind gets ugly, when the sacrifice asks for everything, when the dream demands their soul, they walk away. They say things like, maybe it's not meant to be, or it wasn't for me. They hide behind pain, behind tiredness, behind excuses like shields. But pain is not your enemy, it's your currency. It's the price you pay for transformation. And most people are too cheap to pay it. They want the glory, not the gory. They want the medal without the miles. But you lace up your boots and you run into the fire. You think greatness is luck, destiny, genetics? No, greatness is a decision. It's forged when no one's watching. It's the moments where no one claps, no one sees, and no one cares. Except you. Champions are not born with medals. They're built in the gym when it's cold, in the silence when it's lonely, in the dark when the bed feels warmer than the grind. They're made by the decisions you make when everything in you says stop, and you scream back, not today. You need to murder the voice in your head that tells you to quit. Assassinate it, that soft whisper that says, rest a bit. You can slack today, but nobody's watching. That voice is your enemy. It's the inner saboteur that'll destroy every dream you've got. You have to silence it with discipline, starve it with action, drown it with progress. And every time it gets louder, you get louder. With results, with growth, with war cries that shake the walls of your comfort zone. You say you want to succeed, then bleed for it. Sweat until your shirt feels like armor. Work until the nights blur into mornings. Sacrifice until even your shadow becomes sharper. Success is never given. It's stolen from the hands of laziness, snatched from the mouth of excuses, ripped from the grip of mediocrity. This journey isn't a stroll through roses, it's a battlefield. It will cut you, crush you, stretch you beyond what you thought was possible. But it's that pain that purifies, that burn that builds. You must become ruthless with yourself, kill your weakness daily, find the part of you that hesitates and crush it, the part that complains and correct it, the part that doubts and dominate it, because if you don't hunt your weaknesses, they'll hunt your dreams. You've got to look in the mirror and tell yourself, either I conquer this or I die trying. There is no other way, no detour, no shortcut, just pain and persistence. Burn the bridge that leads back to your old self. Burn the excuses like dead wood. Burn the fantasy of comfort and ease. Burn the part of you that would rather sleep in than rise up. Leave no trace of the quitter inside you. Because once you light that fire, once you commit so hard that there is no going back, you become untouchable. You become unstoppable. Understand this. You're not average. You weren't built for easy. You were built for war. You were made to fight, to claw, to scream, to win. You're part of the 1% that doesn't run from adversity. You chase it down. You don't break under pressure. You become it. Your heart doesn't beat like everyone else's. It pounds with purpose. You don't walk like the rest. You march like a warrior. The 99% are waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for a sign. You're the sign. You show up when it's hard. You train when it hurts. You grind when it sucks. You do what others won't so you can live how they can't. That's your edge. That's your identity. That's your destiny. So here's what you do. Burn the damn bridge. Burn the distractions. Burn the weakness. Burn the fear. Burn the doubt. There is no plan B. There is no safety net. There is only all in, only forward, only now. This is not a speech. It's a call to arm. This is your war cry. This is your permission to go savage, to unleash the beast inside, to build a life that's impossible to ignore. The world doesn't need another quitter. It needs warriors. It needs leaders. It needs you. Because while the 99% will quit, you won't. You never will. You were never meant to. And that's exactly why you'll win. Most people run from discomfort. They avoid the cold, the pain, the pressure, the responsibility. They build their lives around staying safe. But not you. Not anymore. You've tasted the fire now. You've stood at the edge of your limits and dared to take a step forward. That edge, that razor-thin line where comfort ends and transformation begins, is where your true life starts. You will make it your home. You will get so comfortable in discomfort that it becomes the only place you trust. Every second you spend pushing through pain, grinding in silence, and sweating with purpose is another brick laid in the fortress of your mindset. It's not supposed to feel good. Growth doesn't care how you feel. Growth only responds to action, and the action starts when the excuses die. You will wake up tired and still show up. You will feel broken and still keep moving, because comfort is the cage that held you back for too long. It whispered lies into your ear. Take it easy, you deserve a break. Isn't worth it, but you've stopped listening to lies. You don't chase ease, you chase evolution. Laziness is loud in weak men's minds. It tells them to wait. It tells them tomorrow is fine. It tells them to scroll for a few more minutes, sleep for an hour more, and eat that junk just this one last time. And they obey. But not you. You hear that same voice, but you fight back. You drown it out with sweat, with discipline, with sacrifice. When your legs shake, when your lungs burn, when your brain begs for mercy, that's when you smile, because that's when you know you're alive. You're becoming something most people will never become. Resilient, relentless, unstoppable. They say don't burn out, you say I'll burn through. Pain becomes your compass. Hard becomes your default setting. Discomfort becomes your power source. You do not chase the easy road. You pave your own through hell and come out stronger. Why do 99% quit? Because they're not willing to make that trade. They want success, but not at the price of sweat. They want greatness, but not at the cost of grind. They want to win, but they don't want war. You don't want it, you need it. You crave that pain because you know it's cleansing you, molding you, building the beast. You will train when no one's watching. You will study when your friends are partying. You will work when others sleep. You will build while others destroy, because your legacy demands it, because the future you is watching. Understand this: what you feel today is not permanent, but what you build today can be. The laziness you kill now will never haunt you again. The limits you crush now will open doors forever. One rep, 1 second, one sacrifice at a time. You are not soft anymore. You are not average. You are not weak. Every drop of effort is carving the warrior in you. So the next time it hurts, go deeper. The next time you're tired, push harder. The next time you want to quit, smile and keep moving, because the old you is dead. The 99% is behind you, and you are building something eternal. It's 4 o'clock a.m. The world is silent, asleep, comfortable, but not you. You're up, not because it's easy, not because someone told you to. You're up because deep down you've declared war on the version of you that's weak, that gives in, that makes excuses. And this part right here, this is the real battlefield. Not the gym, not the office, not even the ring. The real war is within. The enemy, that little voice in your head whispering, quit, just for today, you've done enough. You've heard that voice 1,000 times. It knows your weaknesses. It knows how to seduce you with comfort. It tells you, sleep in, you deserve it. Skip the workout, no one will know. Eat that junk food, you've earned it. And each time you listen, that voice gets stronger. Each time you obey, you become more of a slave to your limitations. But every time you ignore it, every time you choose pain over pleasure, discipline over comfort, that voice dies a little. That's how warriors are built. This isn't a motivational speech for the faint of heart. This is a declaration for the uncommon, for the hungry, for the obsessed, because truth is 99% of people will quit. They'll quit when it gets hard, when it gets uncomfortable, when the applause fades. But you're not wired like them. You're different. You were born to defy the odds, to rise when others fall, to bleed, sweat, cry, and still keep going. There's a switch inside of you. It's been buried under years of softness, of average, of mediocrity. It's time to flip that switch, to unleash the beast, to become relentless. Every time you face that voice and say, not today, you are transforming. You're not just changing your body, your habits, your finances, you're reconstructing your identity. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Remember the nights you cried silently, the days you felt invisible, the moments you begged the universe for a breakthrough? This is your answer. This grind, this suffering, this fire, it's molding you into something no one can break. When others quit, that's when you begin. When they take the off-ramp, you accelerate. When they say it's impossible, you smile because you eat impossible for breakfast. The problem with most people is they set goals, but they don't marry the process. They fall in love with the dream, but cheat on the discipline. They want the crown, but not the sacrifice. You can't have it both ways. You can't be a beast and live like a sheep. You can't lead the pack while following the herd. You must choose comfort or greatness. One leads to regrets, the other to legacy. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep waiting for the right time? Newsflash. There is no right time. There's only now. There's only today. And while others scroll, binge, and make excuses, you are choosing to rise. You're choosing to outwork, outlast, and outfight every excuse that dares stand in your path. This isn't just about fitness or success. This is about your soul, about who you become when no one is watching, when the lights are off, when there's no camera. Will you still show up? Will you still grind like your life depends on it? Because it does. Your future, your family, your legacy, they're all counting on you. And if you think quitting is an option, you're not ready. But if you've made up your mind, truly, deeply, fiercely, then nothing can stop you. Not pain, not failure, not fear. You are the storm. You are the one who doesn't flinch when the pressure builds. You are the one who runs toward the fire while others run away. And every day you resist the voice that tells you to quit. You are writing a new story, one of triumph, tenacity, and transformation. Don't just be motivated, be possessed, be obsessed, be consumed by the mission, because 99% right.
He'll quit, but you won't.
The difference between the weak and the unstoppable, it's not talent, it's not money, it's not connections or some miracle break from the sky. It's war. It's what you do when the comfort is gone. It's how you respond when everything inside you screams quit. This is where the 99% tap out, but not you. You didn't come this far to break. You came to become something so savage, so relentless, that even life itself starts respecting your grind. Excuses are the lullabies of losers, and they sound sweet when you're tired, when you're cold, when you're broke, when you're alone. But let me remind you, those excuses, they don't pay the bills, they don't sculpt the body, they don't build the empire, they don't raise champions. They just wrap you up in chains and convince you that the cage is comfortable. You want to know why 99% quit? Because they make peace with average. But you're not average. You're war-bred. You're built for pressure. Every day you wake up, you're standing in front of two doors. One leads to weakness, the other leads to war. And no matter how bad you want to avoid the battlefield, your dreams are only accessible through it. So don't just walk into the fire, charge. Let the pain fuel you. Let the fear sharpen you. Let the failure shape you. Your muscles don't grow when you're resting. They grow when they're torn apart, broken down, and rebuilt. Same with your mind, same with your spirit. You get tougher by being tested. Every delay, every betrayal, every failure, that's your invitation to evolve. But the 99%, they flinch, they fold, they fake it, but not you. You're made of harder stuff. Listen closely. Discipline is louder than motivation. Motivation is hype. It comes and goes like cheap applause. But discipline, that's the savage inside you that drags you out of bed when you're dead tired. That's what keeps you grinding when the wins are far and the losses few. So personal. You don't rise because of motivation. You rise because you've burned the damn bridges. There's no plan B. It's win or bleed. Your future is not waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to get ruthless, to wake up and punch the day in the mouth, to shut up the voice in your head saying, maybe tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, not someday, today, because the 99% will wait. But you execute. While they scroll, you study. While they rest, you rise. While they party, you prepare. That's the edge. That's the warpath. Let me break it down. You're not tired. You're just uninspired. You're not weak. You've just been fed comfort too long. You're not lost. You just stop fighting. Get back up. Sharpen your focus. Ruthlessly cut out the distractions. Yes, all of them. Those fake friends who waste your time, gone. That endless social media scrolling, dead. That constant complaining and self-pity, killed off. You want success? Then kill the habits that breed failure. They'll call you obsessed. Let them. They'll say you're crazy. Good. They'll say you've changed. Damn right. You were never meant to blend in. You're built to stand out, stand tall, and stand alone if necessary. You've got a war to win and nobody's coming to save you. Your destiny is self-made, and the cost? Everything you were comfortable being. Don't fear being exhausted, fear being average. Don't fear pain, fear regret. Don't fear the struggle, fear the soft life that leads nowhere. You want freedom? Then embrace the fight. Every ounce of freedom is earned in the trenches. Freedom to choose, freedom to rise, freedom to dominate. And domination only comes through dedication, through showing up when it's hardest, through training when nobody's watching, through staying focused when the world wants to distract you. Let me ask you something raw. What are you doing with your hours? Because time is not money, time is life. And every wasted minute is a piece of your dream dying. Are you going to let laziness steal your greatness? Are you going to let procrastination rob your legacy? Or are you going to rise now, fists clenched, eyes lit with fire, heart pounding with purpose? Nobody's coming to rescue you. That truth should excite you, because it means the power is in your hands. Every move you make today shapes the beast you become tomorrow. You're not a victim, you're a weapon. And every excuse you kill, every comfort you reject, every time you show up despite the struggle, you sharpen that weapon. You think this is hype? No, this is blood and bone truth. The 99% want hype. They want comfort wrapped in fancy words. But this is war, and you're being handed the strategy. The battlefield is your daily routine. The enemy is your laziness. The weapon is your discipline. The victory, that's on you. And every second you hesitate, the 1% gets stronger. The clock is ticking. What will you do with it? Let them doubt you. Let them talk behind your back. Let them mock your grind. Because when the storm hits, and it will, you'll be the one standing, not them. When the pressure builds, and it always does, you'll be the one calm. Why? Because you trained for war while they trained for attention. You built fire while they chased followers. You rose in silence while they screamed for light. And here's the truth most won't tell you. You don't need 10 steps to success. You need one. Show up every single day. No matter the mood, no matter the weather, no matter the chaos. Show up relentlessly. That's how beasts are born. That's how kings are made. That's how you will rise while the rest fall. The fire inside you is not for decoration, it's for domination. So stoke it, feed it, turn it into a blaze that scorches the limits they placed on you. You're not here to be good. You're here to be unforgettable. You're here to break barriers, to set new standards, to lead by example. So when the 99% quit, let them. You'll smile because you didn't come to fit in. You came to take over, to work until your name is a legacy, until your story is a blueprint, until your pain becomes someone else's inspiration. That is your calling. That is your warpath. And guess what? It starts now. There's a voice inside you, one you've heard every time your back was against the wall, one that whispers in the dark when no one's watching. It says you can't. It says you're tired. It says you've done enough. And for 99% of people, that voice wins. It wraps around their will like chains and drags them into mediocrity. But you've come too far to lose to a whisper. This part of the journey, it's not about muscle. It's not about talent. It's about will. The battlefield is not the gym or the office or the arena. It's inside your own damn head. Every day you wake up, you go to war with comfort, with doubt, with fear, with every part of you that's trying to keep you small. This is the war within, and it's the deadliest one you'll ever fight. You can have the best plan, the best tools, the best conditions, and still fail. Because if your mind isn't trained, if your spirit isn't relentless, if you're not ready to crawl through fire and keep crawling after your flesh is torn and your soul is screaming, you'll fall. Like the 99%. That's where they lose, not because they were weak physically, but because they never trained their mind to fight past the breaking point. So train it. Start today. You train it every time you say no to snoozing the alarm. Every time you hit the weights when your body is begging for rest. Every time you shut down that inner voice and say, we keep going. That's mental reps. That's how you grow throw steel where others have straw. That's how you become unbreakable. People talk about motivation like it's a magic switch, but real power doesn't come from motivation. It comes from discipline, from doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Motivation is loud and fleeting. Discipline is quiet and permanent, and it's what separates legends from lost causes. The truth, you're going to feel broken sometimes. You're going to question yourself. You'll hit walls, emotional, physical, spiritual, but those walls aren't there to stop you. They're there to ask you one question. How bad do you want it? And your answer can't be words. It has to be blood. It has to be grind. It has to be you standing back up every time life knocks you out. Because let me tell you, life will test you, not once, not twice, but every damn day. It'll throw failure in your face. It'll take what you love. It'll laugh when you struggle. And in those moments when the world turns cold and cruel, you've got two choices: conquer or crumble. The 99%, they crumble. They pack it in. They say, it's not worth it. They go back to comfort, to mediocrity, to safety, but not you. You look life in the eye and say, is that all you got? You turn pain into fuel. You turn loss into lessons. You take every L and use it to sharpen your sword. Because the 1% don't fear failure. They expect it. They welcome it. Because they know every failure is a step forward. Every scar is a chapter in the book of greatness. You've got to see your goal like it's life or death. Because in a way it is. The death of your dream is the death of the greatest version of you. And that should terrify you more than anything. Not snakes, not heights, not pain, but the thought that you could die without ever becoming who you were meant to be. That your potential could rot inside of you because you let laziness win. So fight. Fight like every day is your last shot. Fight like you've got nothing to lose and everything to prove. Because you do. You got people counting on you, but even if they don't say it, you got a future self that's watching, begging, praying you don't quit. You got a legacy to build. And that legacy is built in the dark. It's built when no one claps. It's built when you show up tired, broken, and still give 100. This isn't just about motivation anymore. It's about domination. It's about choosing to rise every time you fall. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive the storm, they are the storm. The kind of person who lives with fire in their eyes and a mission in their soul. The kind of person who leads, inspires, and never backs down. You've got that fire. I know you do. You wouldn't still be here if you didn't. The average would have tapped out by now. But not you. You're different. You're rare. You're the kind of soul this world desperately needs. So don't you dare let the 99% infect your spirit. Don't you dare slow down. Don't you dare look back. Burn the boats. Burn the doubt. Burn the backup plan. There is no exit. There is only forward. Only through. Only up. This is your war. This is your battlefield, and the world is watching to see what you'll do when everything's on the line. So rise, warrior, stand tall, and make damn sure the 99% remember your name. Let's get one thing straight. This world doesn't owe you a damn thing. It doesn't care how hard your past was. It doesn't care how many nights you cried yourself to sleep. It doesn't care how many times you almost gave up. This world respects one language: results. And until you win, until you conquer, you are just another noise in the crowd, just another wannabe, just another dreamer with a soft spine. So if you want respect, if you want to be heard, if you want to be remembered, you better bring the fire that melts indifferent. You think the world is going to hold your hand while you chase greatness? No, it's going to push you down, laugh in your face, and dare you to get back up. And that moment when you're bruised, broken, ignored, that's the defining moment. That's when warriors rise and weaklings disappear. The spotlight isn't given, it's earned in the dark. It's earned in the grind no one claps for. And the truth is, most people are addicted to applause. They need validation to continue. But you don't need the world's applause. You need the world's silence. Because in that silence, you sharpen your sword. Understand this: the world only notices results. They won't care when you're up at 3 a.m. grinding. They won't care when you're skipping parties, skipping sleep, and sacrificing everything. But the moment you win, they'll all pretend they believed in you. They'll say, I knew you had it in you. But where were they when you were in the mud? Where were they when your own mind turned on you? Nowhere. That's why you're Your grind has to be silent, but your comeback deafening. The truth is harsh. There are no gold stars for trying, no participation trophies in the arena of life. You win or you get forgotten. You dominate or you get dismissed. And if you want to make the world care, then make them watch. Make them stare. Make them regret ever doubting you. Use every no, every you're not good enough, every you'll never make it as fuel. Stack it like dynamite and blow their doubt to pieces. Let them laugh now. Let them question you. Let them turn their backs, because one day they'll have no choice but to turn their heads. When your name is on that title, when your story is on the big screen, when your victory echoes louder than their doubt, then they'll care, then they'll cheer. But by then, it won't matter, because you won't need them. This journey, it's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about taking all the pain, the silence, the failure, and turning it into something so powerful the world can't ignore you. That's how you become unstoppable. That's how you make the world care. So get out of your head. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for approval. The only stamp of validation you need is the one you give yourself. Every rep, every tear, every scar, it's carving your legacy. And when you finally arrive, battle-worn, unrecognizable, victorious, the world will care, because the 99% quit when the world ignores them. But you rise, you roar, you win. You've come all this way, not by chance, not by luck, but by choice. A choice to rise when others sleep, a choice to fight when others fold, a choice to burn your excuses, bury your doubts, and go all in. Now you stand on the edge of everything you've ever wanted. And here's the truth they won't tell you. The edge is where most people quit. It's where the 99% stop, because it's where things get real, where sacrifice becomes painful, where success demands more than hard work. It demands your soul. This is the point where dreams die, or legends are born. You see, success doesn't whisper, it roars. It demands full obedience. No half effort, no lazy days, no backup plans. It wants to know, are you all in, or are you just pretending? You can't fake this. You can't cheat the grind. You can't talk your way into greatness. You have to bleed for it, sweat for it, suffer for it. And when you've given everything, when you've got nothing left, you have to find one more gear. That's what separates the 1%, not talent, not gift, but a decision to finish what they started, a decision to never go back. And right now, this is your moment to decide. You either step up or step aside. You either conquer or collapse. There is no middle ground. You're standing at the gate of a life you've only dreamed of, the kind of life that doesn't come to the lucky. It comes to the relentless. And if you're still here, if your heart is pounding, if your spirit is screaming yes, then you were never part of the 99%. You were always different. You were always chosen. You were always built for this. So don't just chase your dream. Hunt it down. Don't just hope for greatness. Fight for it like hell. And don't just imagine the best version of yourself. Become it, because the world doesn't need more average. It needs more you. Raw, unstoppable, all in you. You've made it through the storm. You didn't quit like the rest. You proved that you are not the 99%. But the journey doesn't stop here. It starts right now. If this fire is burning inside you, then light up the world with it. Hit that subscribe button, not just for more content, but to commit to your greatness. Smash that like if you're done being average. Drop a comment below saying I will never quit, and say it like you mean it. And most of all, share this with someone who needs to be reminded. 99% will quit, but you won't.